Today, we have Chablis, and not just any Chablis, Chablis from the best Premier Cru vineyard, Montee de Tonnerre. Five producers, same vintage, all 2021. Let's learn about Chablis. Now, Chablis is the most northern portion of Burgundy, all Chardonnay, and using the legendary Cameroonian limestone. The thing is, Montee de Tonnerre sits right across from the Blanchot vineyard for Grand Cru. And we have the 2021 vintage, which is a cool classic year. So we get some higher acidities, and let's get right to it. So our first producer is Guy Robin. So that's a little new to me in the last couple of years, and it represents a really good value. This is Montee de Tonnerre is usually around $50, and we do have some pushing 100 and one over 100, and I can't wait to get into. But everything I've had from Guy Robin, to me, is what Chablis was when I first started getting into these things, which is you get great wine at a great price. So I'm going to give this a go. A nice fruitiness, but an elegance to it. You get that salinity and sort of oyster shell, but there's more of a lemon curd and red and green apple, and a nice pear flavor, and this wonderful sort of a wet rock stony minerality. Let's give it a taste. So that's really lovely on the palate. There's just this nice balance and completeness to it. It doesn't bring too much depth, but there's this really crisp acidity that's really playing through. Everything is well integrated already. That is excellent. Really, for the price I paid for it, again, around $50, I think that's a real winner. Our second wine is from a producer I really like, and that's Gerard Duplessis. Now, Gerard Duplessis is brought in by Selection Massal. And Selection Massal, for those unfamiliar with them, really known for their natural wines, and they're producers that kind of sometimes can be out there. Duplessis, to me, isn't, though. Duplessis normally is just this very salinic in the definition of Chablis. Like, if I was to blind someone on Chablis, Duplessis is probably where I'd go for a lot of things. The nose is a little muted, but that salinity is really coming through even with how muted it is. It's a little simple. I did pull these out, so this shouldn't be too cold. It is a pop and pour. There's some lemon peel, red apple, white fruits, and white florals, and a lot of that flintiness. That flintiness is really starting to come through, and I'm really digging it. It's very possible that this wine just isn't ready for prime time. It's a little muted on the palate. The acidity is there. Um, Duplessis really kicked butt in a lot of previous vintages. I think this is just shy right now. You get that, and I mean, I'm going to be checking in on these a lot later when they get more air, and maybe it shows better then. But right now, it just doesn't want to come out and play, unfortunately. Our third wine comes from a really good producer known as Bilot Simon, and they've kind of been found out. They've been shooting up in price for the last few years. But this is still under $100. But this is a producer that has really captivated me a bunch of times. This is my first go with the 2021. Actually, this is my first go with all these 21. So we're going to be tasting together. Are you ready? Let's get into this. That's what I want. That is what I want. So even with these being pop and pouring, this is a little tight. Uh, this is just like smelling by the sea, which is so funny given the fact that Chablis is nowhere near the ocean. It just has that way about it. Oyster shells, crushed rocks, again, a lot of saline, green apples, white fruits, pears, a bit of lemon peels. And this bit of like morning dew, sort of like a fresh rainfall note that I'm really digging. Let's taste it. So I would love to see where this goes with some age. I don't think it needs too much age, but it's still a little shy. But you're getting all that complexity and balance that lets you know that this is a really serious wine. The acidity just cuts, but it's not overpowering, if that makes sense. A lot of texture, really lovely texture that just sort of dances across the palate. This is really beautiful. This is one for the cellar, and this is one I would highly recommend you look out for. You don't need too long, just a couple of years, but it will do it wonders. Our fourth wine, this is from one of the classic producers, one of the best known producers, William Febvre. They are one of the big guys. They are really probably the biggest guy in Chablis, possibly. Um, and they give you a whole range. I think they make something like almost every single vineyard they possibly can. So I wasn't going to do a Chablis tasting without getting into them. I can already smell the nose from here, which is a good thing. This hopefully is going to come out and play. It most certainly is. There's really nice lemon curd and a lot of that saline oyster shell that I noted on some of the other wines. Rounded though with like these nice red apples. touch of yogurt, and there's this nice little bit of a sort of hazelnut cinnamon spice that I'm really, really digging. Yeah, that's doing it. I mean, one of the classic producers, one of the best producers, really complete on the palate. Um, Still has a little rough edges. Again, these are all very young wines, so they can use a few years and would benefit from a few years. But this is showing its pedigree, and that's really what I would want, or what I would want any of you to have. Because when you buy these wines that are a little more expensive, there is that trepidation, right? Do they always deliver? Are they going to live up to the hype? Well, I think that is. It's doing a really good job. We're going to end this tasting with the Chablis producer, the most iconic producer. When I was putting this together, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be really fun to have some Ravenel? So if you are not familiar with Francois Ravenel, you really need to check out Kermit Lynch's book, Along the Wine Route. We're now going on 35 years plus since that came out, but his reverence for Ravenel still works today. Now, these wines have gotten so expensive. I bought this on my own because I wanted to, and I wanted to have some Ravenel, and I wanted to share this experience with you all. Ravenel, it's never been cheap. When I was working in retail, the stores I would work at would get these in. Now, but these were like $130 bottles at a time when, I mean, still never cheap, but obtainable ish. If you want something nice and special, this is a lot more expensive now. It was maybe always going to go that way, but that just makes it more special when I have it. Anytime you see that yellow wax from them, you're going to be looking forward to things. I can smell from here. We are in for something. I cannot wait to get into this. Smidge muted, just a smidge, but so complex. A lot of gunflint, apples. Again, these saline notes, but it's not overly. It's more like wet rock type flavors. A bit of a lemon curd as opposed to some of the other lemon flavors that I would get. A bit of kumquat and quince. Everything's just really round and really just elegant and poised. Like this is like two amazing dancers at the beginning of a great waltz. The palate is what sets Ravenel apart, always. It's a textural and ethereal thing. Just as I noted on the nose, this round quality, and that continues out here. Perfect world, I'd age this for another 5, 8 years and let everything come together as it needs to. So there's a few jagged edges, but this is just letting you know that it has just gotten out of the station. The train is there. It's a powerful train, but it's so young, but it's so good. I mean, this is where you're dealing with one of the great wines of the world, and I hope all of you get a chance to try this at some point. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I have. Chablis, I'm always a big fan. So let me know what some of your favorite Chablis are down in the comments below. I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Cheers.